His focus appeared to shift from his fellow GOP contenders to the man he hopes to face in the general election, President Barack Obama. Here's what he had to say this morning on Fox and Friends.
My message is out there loud and clear. I want people to recognize this is an election not just about replacing a president. It's an election about the soul of America. Is the president going to turn us into an entitlement society like Europe, or are we going to stay the kind of American nation with a merit society, an opportunity society that's driven us to be the hope of the earth and, of course, the hope of the people of this country? And I represent the latter. President Obama represents the former. I think it's a classic opportunity for the American people to make a choice.
Governor Romney continues to poll near the top of the field in Iowa, and his lead in the critical primary state of New Hampshire has increased in recent days. And some are calling New Hampshire a must-win race for Team Romney. Here with the view from the ground in the Granite State is New Hampshire Senator, my very own Senator, and Romney campaign supporter Kelly Ayotte. Senator, great to have you with us.
Great to be with you, Mark.
You've been on a bus tour with Governor Romney in New Hampshire. He didn't win the state in 2008. What's changed this time round?
Well, I was just with him yesterday campaigning in New Hampshire. He had overflow crowds, and the enthusiasm for his candidacy, you can see it. He's really resonating with New Hampshire voters. He's been here a tremendous amount. He's working very hard. He's having those traditional New Hampshire town hall meetings. And so I think when you see the broad support he has here, he's doing very well.
This phrase he used this morning on Fox and Friends about the soul of America, that's what a lot of the base wants. It wants a fighter who understands the primal nature of this election in November. And there's been a kind of enthusiasm gap in terms of Governor Romney's numbers. They've kind of stayed around 22, 25%. You think that's changed in recent days on the ground in the Granite State, do you?
Well, I can tell you that I saw the enthusiasm there. And our country can't take 4 more years of Barack Obama. And so Governor Romney's message is really resonating with New Hampshire voters of talking about America and what needs to happen with our country, that we are a land of opportunity. And when you think about where this president has put us, diminished opportunity, fewer jobs, and all the debt that he's accumulated. And Mitt Romney is really hitting that message to New Hampshire voters and making sure that they know that under his administration we will have fiscal responsibility and people will get to work.
I think folks understand the business background of the governor and his time in the private sector. They tend to get worried about other things. You're a strong pro-life candidate. You were endorsed by pro-life organizations. You said just a few months ago, isn't it great that a principled pro-life candidate can win in the Northeast? And I think it is great, but Governor Romney was kind of a little bit more equivocal on that when he ran. He said at one point, I think in 2002, running for governor, I will protect and preserve a woman's right to choose. Ted Kennedy famously said, I'm pro-choice, Mitt Romney is multiple choice. Are you persuaded by his conversion on the life issue?
Well, I can tell you I'm the only pro-life woman in the Senate. I take this issue very seriously. I'm the mother of 2 children. And I've spoken to him personally about this issue, and he has strong convictions about protecting life, and so I certainly know that he will carry those convictions to the White House.
And how do you feel about Romneycare, which is, again, according to some, the big millstone around his neck? You're in southern New Hampshire. A lot of general practitioners in southern New Hampshire are picking up a lot of extra customers from Massachusetts who can't get to see a primary care physician in their own state. How do you think Romneycare is going to play with the voters of New Hampshire?
Well, Governor Romney has already come out and said that he would repeal Obamacare. That is the biggest issue for voters in New Hampshire, is this one-size-fits-all government mandate coming from Washington, Washington telling us what to do. And New Hampshire voters don't appreciate that. And Governor Romney is very strong on that. As soon as he gets into office, he'll make sure that we do not fund Obamacare, and also as we go forward with the Health Care Act, that we will work to repeal it and get it done as soon as possible.